In my previous mock draft, I explored the possibility of the Patriots actually selecting Travis Hunter, a generational talent and arguably the most skilled player in the 2025 NFL Draft. While I acknowledge Hunter's extraordinary abilities and obviously versatility, I also point out that there's legitimate concerns to actually drafting him, which obviously sparked emotional responses from viewers. I get it, guys. You have an attachment to him and you're going to defend it. Sure, not a problem. Go ahead, you're a fan, right? That's what we're here for. But despite those critiques, I also concluded that Hunter remains a viable option for the Patriots. Obviously, thanks to his immense talent and potential upside. We still don't know what this guy can do if he focuses on being a D-back or a wide receiver. But my real big take home to that was actually more beyond the football field. Hunter's hype and marketing potential cannot be ignored. This guy has a massive social media following and obviously is a charismatic persona. For me, I think Hunter represents a unique opportunity for the Patriots to expand their brand and reach. And just listen to me for a second. The Patriots are the second largest fan base, and on top of it, they're second most in terms of geographic diverse, meaning there's a lot of Patriots fans all over the country and all over the globe. The Patriots already dominate the 35-plus demographic, particularly on platforms like Facebook, where they appear to be saturated. However, platforms like TikTok and Twitter reveal a lot more untapped potential, where sadly the Patriots only rank in the middle of the pack compared to other teams. Now, who dominates those? Well, for TikTok, it's the Chiefs. I wonder why. Now, you look at that, that's an outside influence bringing new eyes to their franchise. Yes, winning helps too. Obviously, Detroit and the Bills also have great social media metrics. So for the Patriots, adding a player like Hunter, whose social media clout resonates with younger, digitally engaged audiences. This is important. These are things that businesses are looking at. They will attract new eyes, fresh faces, an entirely new different category to the fan base. Now for the Crafts, this would generate invaluable data for them to bolster negotiations with advertisers, presenting them with a younger, more diverse audience to target. The synergy between Hunter's personal brand and the Patriots' marketing strategies could open doors for beyond to very lucrative opportunities. This is, again, the NFL is an entertainment company. This would make Travis more than a football asset, but also a strategic one for the franchise's long-term growth. Brady's gone, guys. Now Drake May, great, but Drake May represents a great quarterback. The franchise has already had a great quarterback. So you're replacing the assets. And yes, these guys can be considered assets on spreadsheets. Remember, the team is part of the Kraft portfolio, and as businessmen, they have to be looking at their slowing revenue growth compared to their peers. Despite having the second largest fan base, the Patriots were apparently fourth in revenue a couple years ago behind the Cowboys, Vegas, and the Rams. They are still top 10 in terms of revenue, but they've had the worst growth rate of the top 10. When companies are seeing their year-over-year growth starting to fade, they look at new growth drivers. They're looking for new avenues for revenue. They invest in that too. One of the biggest growth drivers for the NFL has been sports betting, which is primarily driven by males in the 21 to 34 years old category. So the same bracket the Patriots appear to be struggling with. So what? Well, sports betting is huge for the NFL in terms of their cut. And these sports betting companies are some of the biggest and best advertisers. Think about it. How often do you hear or see betting in your face around the NFL? There's not too many Coca-Cola radio ads anymore. So what's my point? Well, the NFL needs that money for growth. And people who are gambling on a game have a greater incentive to watch the game and aren't likely to look away in case they miss something. Obviously, more people watching means higher ratings, which means they can charge more for advertising. Now, another important metric is social media engagement on sports betting. It's huge because the synergy of people using their smartphones to place their bets. By the way, 91% of people who use sports betting apps use the app on their phone. All this information is trackable and can be formulated to show advertisers and their partners that their product, the Patriots, are lucrative, something to invest in, something to highlight, promote. Travis has a huge social media following that brings new viewers to the Patriots, which can lead to more bettors, more eyes on the game, and possibly moving out of that 1 p.m. game slot to be a primary betting game in the 4 p.m. or even prime time. And again, just bolstering your case to charge more. You bring that portfolio of data out, you could be back to growth with one draft pick. So be prepared for Travis Hunter to be in Foxborough. And like I said in my last video, yeah, he might not be the best corner, he might not be the best wide receiver, but he's still a top 5 or even top 3 in both. And the Patriots need help everywhere. And I get it. Trust me, I think it's hard to justify drafting a CB2 when you don't have a big X receiver or a dominant edge rusher. And there's all the help that you're going to need on the offensive line and the defensive line. But it's going to be hard to pass up Travis. He might not be a generational talent at corner, and he might not be a generational talent at wide receiver, but he's definitely a generational talent as a football player. I know people are going to get emotional about this, but the metrics that drive football decisions are going to support drafting him. And on the business side, those business decisions are going to override any rebuttal. There are a handful of really good blue chip players in this draft, and it's kind of rough to say this, but probably none of them are going to be franchise altering on the football side of things. But Travis could be franchise altering on the financial, the media, the hype, all the juice that you need to at least get your name back in the top end. Because guess what? You're not losing out. By getting Travis Hunter, you are possibly drafting 2 different positions. Maybe he's a corner for a year or 2, and then as he develops as wide receiver, maybe he makes the switch. And interesting enough, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to see the football, and they're going to justify getting Travis because of his upside potential and how he looks on film and how he moves in space and all that stuff. And that's great. There's a lot of that top line view. And like I said in the last video, he might not be the best wide receiver, but he'll probably come in and be the best wide receiver on the Patriots. He's not going to be the top corner, but that's okay. You need at least 2 corners, right? And that second corner position has been an issue. We can be concerned about, him being a little bit lighter and thin framed, which is going to be an issue, of course. He does have an injury history. There's a lot of reasons why there's other blue chip talent would probably be a better football fit. But we have to look at the whole entire thing. This is not just what's inside the lines. I think everybody just needs to accept that. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so let's do... I guess the first time we'll do... Assuming that none of the trade offers are worthy of Travis Hunter. So let's see what that would be. Or no one really just offers anything. Kind of worth it. I definitely want like a 3rd or 4th thrown there as well. Yeah, I don't think any of those are worth it for me. So we'll take the Travis Hunter, see what happens. So now that you got Travis, getting a corner or a wide receiver probably is not, unless it's somebody you really need and the board looks strong and you can maybe get something at 66. But we're looking at probably at offensive tackles or an edge. I like Wyatt. Cam Williams I'd really be interested in if they were not big on Caden Wallace, or if they still think Caden Wallace can make a development into a left tackle. Now Wyatt plays left tackle and he's been pretty solid, so I'm going to go with Wyatt here. So next is basically got to be edge, or you go with another offensive lineman. Alfred Collins could be a Barmore replacement. Harold Finn would also obviously be I'd try to get in the 3rd, the 83 here. 2nd, 3rd pick. Armand Membo, what are you gonna do? Armand Membo. 60, 60, 60. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to pass. So let's take a look at the other offensive tackles left. So they got cleared out. Now, interior offensive lineman, Ratledge, Grant, Fairchild, I can definitely... he's a good left guard. Edge is going to become a problem, looks like. Yep. Yep, I think we're going to have to go after Kyle Kennard, which is not a problem. I can also go after Sutton, too, if we completely missed on that. What do we got left here? Alfred Collins at 83, I think, is a no-brainer. Xavier Watts is also a good pickup, too. Collins, that's your Barmore replacement. Jalen Royals, still there. That's a no-brainer. So at 139, we're looking at another D tackle, possibly another offensive lineman. Also have to consider a big X receiver if they're there. Charles Grant, that's a good pickup. Jared Ivey's another good one. Luke Lachey. Ron Gadsden. Luke Lachey is probably a good... No, if Delp is still on the board. Elijah's pretty fast, too. He's a good big X receiver, basically. I keep saying using that is that... I understand they're tight ends, but if you're not going to be able to get a dominant X receiver in the first half of the draft, these guys are probably, although tight ends, like, for example, Elijah, Arande, and Eli do a good portion of their snaps way out wide. They're not just split out in like a, in the slot or as a joker. We're talking like actual wide receiver routes, especially Arande and Eli. So, and those are the guys like, obviously Nesbitt can do that. I mean, there's almost all these guys are good split out. Like Terrace Ferguson is too. Luke Lachey's really tempting here though, because he's basically, once you get past, he's probably next in line behind Tyler Warren as a like good full service tight end. Can play just everything. Ask him everything he can do almost everything. So I'm pretty tempted here just to grab Luke. But I'm also, if he's still there, Charles Grant is a good tackle. I know they have him in an interior offensive line, but he's good tackle. That huge gap between 139 and 218 bothers me so much. Because you're just, what am I going to really miss out? And what do I, like what player do I want? Like I'd love to get Malachi. Safeties get kind of thinned out though. So maybe I have to go. I mean, Kenny Gallup I'd take, 7th round or something like that. There's a few other safeties like Aubrey I'd also consider. I take, if Jack can, maybe, I doubt it, but maybe he can survive the 218. I'd love to pick him up. What do we need? I think I have to go with Charles Grant here. Or Sebastian Castro. He's good too. Oh. I like Charles Grant as the athlete. I would even consider, if, depending on how the offensive line... this is the thing. Is these two guys especially, Grant and Lachey, I would take even in the 3rd round. So I'm going to do that because I think the tight end is still deep. Probably still need another edge, at least somebody that can play upright. Is that Gadsden going to make it? Oh, Gadsden didn't make it. All right. Riley Mills, that's a good pickup. I'm going to have to go with that. That's actually a great pickup at 218, still around. Actually, let's take a look at running back. That's going to be one of my last two to grab. Raheem, Khalil. Yeah, I would wait one more. Or do we have two? Yeah, we have two more. So I'd see if I'm going to take my running back at 238. That gives us what? Running backs, another tight end. Or we haven't even picked up tight end yet. So let's take a look at what we got. I like Mitchell Evans. I don't know if he's going back another year, but he didn't look great coming out after that injury. Gillenborg, I think, is probably going to go back another year, but we'll have to see. A lot of these tight ends you got to see. Bryson Nesbitt, I wouldn't mind if you get him even UDFA, or take him in the 7th round in real life. Like, all these guys would be great. Easily worth 7. Well, Brant, I don't know, he's been injured so much, I don't know what's going to go on with him. But most of these guys, if you can get them in like the 6th or 7th round, would be a great steal. I think I'm going to take Delp here. It's just a no-brainer, I think. And then let's actually take a look at wide receiver one more time. There might be somebody else out there that's... Yeah, obviously like Nick Nash, Ricky White, Daquan Felton's an athlete. Daniel Jackson's legit. Anybody else in here that's... Corey and Clark need to know what he's going to be doing. Moose Muhammad. Armstrong is not coming out. I didn't know that. All right. Mario Williams, man. 571. Can't believe he's going to be. Aggie Hall. A lot of these guys are actually not bad. Just didn't have a really great... Gilroy is actually pretty good. Gilroy, sorry, is pretty good too. Allie Jennings is way down here. Crazy. Silas Bolden. Yeah, Chris Tyree. Chris Tyree is interesting if he makes it all the way through, because he was a running back first. And he's very twitchy and athletic. Arian Smith runs like a 4.2 something. Dorian Singer's pretty good too. Baldwin runs like a 4.2 something. Julian Fleming's pretty fast for his size. A lot of speedsters down here. So there's some, I guess you would say, probably, Kadarius Davis. All these guys are all quick and twitchy. They'd be interesting UDFA prospects. Really want to know what's going on with DeCorian. I mean, that knee must be... And same thing with Dominic. Too bad about Colby Young. I don't know what he's doing, but I believe he was dismissed by the program. Oh, LeJonte Wester. Now, just so everybody doesn't get all agitated about me saying this, is that for everybody's like a Travis Hunter's LeJonte Wester had like 10 or 15 less receptions for like 200 less yards and like a few less touchdowns than Travis Hunter did. And yet he's at 400. Either one's like incredibly underrated. By the way, he's an awesome kick and punt returner too. One is either incredibly underrated at 399 or one's a little bit overrated for what he does. All right, so what was my... Shoot. I'm good holding off on this. David Walker. Oh, yeah, we were going to do Delp. And let's bring Khalil back home. Khalil. Yeah, Khalil Mullins, I think. I keep saying Khalil. So, not bad. Now, I don't know if it really helped me out because I didn't have to get as many wide receivers or corners. But I don't hate the draft. Again, like Travis Hunter, potential work both ways. Wyatt, one of your best tackles in the draft. Not sure if he'll be there. But if he's not there, then somebody else that like another top wide receiver or a top edge guy or another D tackle or something that you need would obviously bleed out of the first, that you'd get there. And then you'd have to, you might be a little bit pressed for an offensive tackle, but you'd maybe have a shot at taking, a top level athlete that just made its way out of the first round that's there at the second. And you're not pressured because you got to fill in the holes. It's like you got so many holes and you're like, the roster's turning over even more this year. Like, again, the Cooper DeJean debacle in the second round. I know a lot of people go to Ladd McConkey. Not picking Cooper DeJean was your big problem. Cooper DeJean was probably a top 5 athlete last year if he didn't get injured. He was your best corner. And actually, by the way, he's like 4th or 5th best corner by grades. Not just by rookies, but by everything. He's got better grades than Gonzo. He plays corner and safety. And we went with somebody that, because our coaching staff likes him. There's a guy who was the Tyler Hughes, worked with him in Washington. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, Kennard, not my favorite edge rusher, but he's good. I'll take him at 66. Collins, Barmore replacement, super freakish athlete. Royals, that's kind of, essentially Royals is what everybody wants Tyquan Thornton, what Tyquan Thornton was supposed to be. And then, let's see, Charles Grant, again, says interior offensive line. He might be good there, but he's a tackle. So maybe he plays right tackle, maybe he plays some interior offensive line, maybe he's just simply a backup, whatever. But the value there is, I think he's easily a third rounder in most years, period. Him at 139 is a steal. I doubt he'll really be there in real life. So, all right, so we got that. Sorry for clicking around like that. 139. Riley Mills, that's a steal too. I know he already got one defensive tackle, but the thing about Riley Mills is good run stuffer. Alfred Collins, probably more of an interior pass rusher. And Mills actually has a decent amount of sacks too, so it would bolster at least the pass rush, which has been our biggest issue this year. Oscar Delp, again, just another value grab. Just really hasn't had a shot. I doubt he really comes out. But if he does and he's there for some reason in 5th, 6th, 7th round, no brainer. And then Mullings, just taking advantage of a really deep running back class. All right, let's do one that hopefully we get some incentive to trade back. Here we go. That might be worth it. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to go Abdul. And if you don't believe me, just kind of look at the pass rush and just the front 7, how we're getting run on, inability to get to the quarterback. Mika Boka or Cam. Here's my concern. I think, let's look at wide receivers. If you get a Mecca, yeah. See, to me, I like Trey Harris too, but there's 3 spots here, so I don't think we're going to lose out on both of these guys. But Cam Williams or Connerly or Jihad. There's some other guys that if we miss out, there's guys. Landon Jackson would be a good D tackle / edge guy. Let's go with that. I'm going to be smart. Also, we can take a corner here. Maxwell, if he's there at 66, you're going to be a Patriot. Trey Amos is very tempting here as well, but I think we got to go tackle with Josh Connerly. He needs to develop as a run blocker. It's not good. Cam Williams, he's a right tackle. And if you're going to go, Cam Williams is probably, as a right tackle, is first round talent for sure. Because he's developmental. He's got upside, right? He's still a little raw, but even in his current state is a monster right tackle. And if you were to think, hey, we can give, because the right tackle position is worse than our left tackle position. Like Vidarian Lowe loses here and there. Penalties, which most of the time his penalties almost always look like miscommunications or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe that's just some more development for him to work on. But he doesn't really lose that many matchups. Like, he's put some of the best edge rushers to bed this year. So the problem with like the right tackle, Trey Jacobs, probably even better at left tackle than he is right. If Wallace is showing promise at left and he can take Vidarian, then that's fine, and maybe that leaves you a problem with the right tackle. So I'm not completely opposed to getting like Cam Williams if that's their game plan. Like, they have some sort of like, we think Cam could be better than Caden, and Caden could possibly be a developmental left tackle still. But Josh Connerly as a left tackle is legit. Just needs to work on that run blocking. He's not robust. He's athletic. He's not a road grader. You're gonna have an issue with. You're gonna have to get somebody to help you out with running. But so far so good though. I'll still take it. Ooh, Membo, still there, but Hairston's gonna have to go, and I'm gonna take Alfred Collins for Barmore replacement at 68 if he's still there. Actually, let me convince myself that Darian Porter. Oh no, I'm gonna take Hairston. Okay, we're good. We're doing right. Alfred Collins? Yes. It's going to take a lot for me to move off Membo, but Alfred Collins still there is... 83. Membo? Nope, gone. Watts, though, still there. Now we got to start looking for offensive. Ooh, Stutzman. Still there. Jack Nelson, 139, could be there. Yeah. Gadsden. If I miss out on Gadsden, I guess I can try to get Stowers at 218. Yeah, let's take a look at interior offensive lineman. Get Jonah if he's there too. He plays all 5 positions. Yeah, offensive tackles. We can get, yeah, Xavier Truss is there, 218. Yeah, you know what? I'm still going to stick to my plan of probably trying to get Gadsden here. Now I'm talking myself off it. Pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. I like Xavier Truss as a right tackle. Yeah, I'm going to stick to Gadsden. I know he's a tight end on the thing, but he's a big X receiver. Plays a good percentage of his snaps out wide. Tackle. Jonah might be the pick here. Yeah. Because I think we might have lost trust. Did we lose trust? We did. Alright, so let's go with Jonah. Smart move anyway. Played center this year. Next. Well, we still need to consider... we got a linebacker. Additional wide receiver help. Tommy Hill's also another one to consider. Inline tight end. Running back too, so let's take a look at wide receivers. Ooh, Ja'Cory Brooks. Huh. 5-star recruit. A little bit of discipline problems at Alabama. Kind of gets you that, like, Javon Baker. But then again, you got guys like Nick Nash who have been clean slate, good dudes all the way around. It's just that this guy is a former, like, he's a 5-star recruit. Now, has he played? He's got some stone hands, but Jackson Hawes would be an interesting offensive line way to boost your offensive line. I think we have to go offensive line here again, maybe? Oh, we got Jonah. Got to get somebody who can run the ball. Did they take Tootin on us? They did. RJ Harvey being one of your better running backs in the whole draft, though. Still there at 173. ETN's a issue off the field. Damian Martinez is a beast, too. And same thing with Taj Brooks. I always wondered why Taj didn't go out last year. We have enough linebackers. You have Abdul, you've got Stutzman. So let's talk. Ricky White, Zakari Franklin. All right, I'm just gonna be smart. I'm gonna take the gamble. I'm gonna take the gamble and just say, hey, maybe we can develop them into something. Maybe you get and then running back, Damian Martinez. So what do you guys think? Do you think Travis Hunter has to be the first pick? Do you see a road where they can trade back, still get, a first-round player that is of need, maybe pick up some guys on day 2 that can maybe be a corner and wide receiver and kind of replace Travis Hunter in aggregate, essentially? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.